Question 3. Determine the equation of the tangent to the curve 4x fx, where x squared minus 4x at the point where the gradient is 2. Now I'm not going to draw it to scale, but all it means is this is a parabola. A parabola looks like this, and what they say is where the gradient is 2. Now the gradient in this case of the graph is negative, less negative, less negative until it's 0, and from 0 it becomes then positive, more positive, more positive. At some place here the gradient equals 2. So the gradient of the tangent equals 2. And they want to know what is the equation where this line equals 2. Now remember, that line will change all the time, but when the gradient is 2, it can only be one of those. So let's have a go look. The moment we say gradient is 2, we need to know that the gradient equals the derivative of fx. So the derivative of fx equals, and we find the derivative of this. The 2 goes to the front, 2x minus, and the x falls away, it's 4. So the gradient at any point, now be careful, that is not the equation of the line, that's the equation of the gradient. What I want to know is, I want to know what is this point. Because if I want to find this equation, I'm going to need to know what is this xy value. And once I know what's the xy value, I can find out what is that value. So when the gradient is 2, then 2x minus 4, the gradient must equal 2. Negative 4 goes over, so in other words I go plus 4, and that gives us 2x equals 2 plus 4 is 6. I divide both sides with 2, so x equals 3. So I know that that x value is 3. What I want to know now is, what if x is 3, what is y? To know what is y for that equation, I'm going to substitute this 3 back into this equation. So I'm going to say f at 3 equals, and I'm going to put 3 back into these equations. So it's going to be 3 squared minus 4 times 3. And that equals 9. 9 take away 12 equals negative 3. So that point there is 3, negative 3. Now remember, to find the gradient now, there's 2 ways. The first way is, I'll do it in blue, is the book that the textbook does it. It goes and it says y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So that's one way of doing it. It means the y stays. y1 will be this value, which is negative 3. M is the gradient. The gradient is 2. X, take away x1, and that x1 is our point here, which is positive 3. That will give us negative and negative 3 here is y plus 3 equals 2 times x is 2x, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. The plus 3 is going to go over to the other side, so y is going to be 2x plus 3. I'm going to subtract 3, so 2x minus 9. So that is the answer of that equation. What was the other way of doing it? I'm going to swap to green, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say the equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c. I know y is negative 3. I know the gradient is 2. I know x is positive 3 plus c. So I can find what's the value of c. c equals 2 times 3 is 6. 6 goes over. It becomes minus 3. Take away 6 is negative 9. My equation therefore is y equals gradient. Gradient is 2. X stays. What is c? Negative 9, which is the same as that.